paragraphs generally can be talked about later, but just to give you a heads up, these little paragraphs are tight units of meaning. And I kind of feel like a school marm when I put the next idea on the board, you know, a school marm with a big beehive and hairdo. But you know what? In essays, it's kind of important for not only the words to be in control, the sentences to be in control, but as units of discourse, these paragraphs have to be in control. And traditionally in English classes, and this is the school marming part, generally at the beginning of each of these sentences, we have something that are called topic sentences that let you know what the topic of each paragraph is. One of the things we have to realize is that in professional writing, 75, 80, 90% of the sentences, if you pick up New Yorker magazine, Harper's, National Geographic, any famous magazine, you're not going to see paragraphs that have topic sentences. You're just not. There's a word I'm reaching for, diacritical, I think is what Donna Gorell taught me in St. Cloud State in my first incarnation as a grad student. The meaning accumulates. But if you're working in the world of school, and you're writing an essay that's 700, 800, 900 words long, it's tight. And you really don't have any time for fooling around. And that's why, pretty much, in brief essays, you want a topic sentence at the beginning of each essay. A topic sentence that lets the reader know what the topic is. And if you want those paragraphs to work, pretty much everything in here is, every sentence is going to adhere to the theme of the paragraph. It's kind of like a little umbrella. Put in any metaphor you like that works for you. If this topic sentence here is an umbrella, you want everything idea-wise underneath it. And it's an okay way of thinking about writing. If you do not have topic sentences, you aren't going to have any control of these paragraphs. Typically, too, and I should have said this before, aims are stated pretty much early in the essay, and traditionally, you know what we call that. We call that the thesis sentence, right? The thesis statement. Sorry, my handwriting is so lame. You all know what this is. The thesis statement is the belief of the writer, pretty much distilled down into a single sentence. You've probably had teachers in high school or elsewhere who have taken away your first-person pronoun I. And again, I can't remember if we've talked about this yet. As far as I'm concerned, and we're thinking about the next paper, the persuasive paper, I want to give you all back your I right now. Because the most clear-cut way, the surest way to create a solid thesis statement is to say, I believe. You can say anything you want once you lay that out. I believe that Comp 1 should be not mandatory. You could make that statement. You could write that entire paper. I believe that at Central Lakes College, ice cream should be free. Go for it. Write that paper. It's a little bit silly. You know what I'm talking about. I believe Harvey Oswald acted alone when he shot Kennedy, whatever. If you say this way, I believe, your paper will be in control. You'll be expressing your belief, your value, your opinion, and it's going to be dead simple and clear. And this puppy will it's going to do what you want it to do. You may encounter teachers who are going to take away your first-person pronoun. They're going to want you to write in third person. For several reasons. I understand them. They don't want you to become the subject. They want you to sound more authoritative. But to me, it's kind of stilted and awkward style-wise. You are possibly going to encounter teachers that would rather have you say, it is believed by this writer that the sun going down is quite beautiful, rather than, I believe that's just one gorgeous sunset shaping up over there on the western horizon. You can almost see my house from there. I live up there in Collegeville. So we've got these things. We've got the exordium, we've got topic sentences that are kind of important, and it's kind of important to have a thesis statement. I'm going to give you one more clue because I don't want this lesson to be too long. Picked up a student's paper at Central Lakes College today. I took a look at it, and his question when he stayed after class was not necessarily what I get such and such a grade, but I had to say to him, you know what? This paper has dread shrinking paragraph syndrome. I'll give you a little clue on writing essays. I could have taken money from students at Central Lakes College today in this way. I could have stood in my 9:30 class and my 8 o'clock class and said, you know what? I've got a dollar bet. I bet $1. I bet you each $1 that every single paper that I just handed back here today has a shorter conclusion than the introduction. And sure enough, when I told the student that he had dread shrinking paragraph syndrome, he realized, looked, you could physically see it on paper. I separated the 2 pages, we could see his thought flowing, arrangement-wise on the paper. He had a nice big fat intro. And then, particularly right here, starting with the 3rd and 4th paragraphs, they started getting shorter, right? They really kind of look like this. And he just had this little 2-sentence intro. I told him that in my mind, when I read essays like this, and I see dread shrinking paragraph syndrome, I started to hear this wah, 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 wah. He's just kind of winding down. You've done this. You spend a lot of time in the introductory paragraph, and by the time you get here, you're tired. Tell you what, when you get to this part of the paper, or this part of the paper, take a break. Go for a walk. Do something different. Take a break. Come back to that paper then. This is not the time in an essay, in creating a piece of discourse, where you should be letting up. When you get to the end of an essay, you got to go for it. You got to be going for it. This is no time to get tired. And that's why I tell you to take a break. But that's not how we write essays in school. It's work. It's something we've got to get done. It's a hoop that our teachers are making us go through. But there's an art to writing essays. There's a joy in it that I would just love you to discover with me. And boy, this sure looks like a bunch of crap now that I got it up on the board. But I think it's important crap. In the next video, we've got to talk about something that is not easy. I've been in schools where if you just say MLA, you say the Modern Language Association, people just start spitting and swearing and rending their clothes. They freak out. It's a perfectly benign, not-for-profit philanthropic organization, and probably time to pitch that. The next video, obviously, we'll be talking about format. I've also, as opposed to the A to Z essay, with the next essay, I'm going to give you a rubric, and we're going to take a look at some primary traits that I'll be taking a look at. The first one, every time, is the fulfillment of intention. If you write an essay and tell me that it's going to do something, and you get here, you'll get 10 out of 10, and you'll also get super points, which are inscribed on the part of the instructor. See you in the next video.